Hi guys, I hope you are all doing well. Let's see today's question. So today's question we are taking this up from the topic of complex numbers, and in this question we have been told that z is equal to x plus iy is your complex number, which we already know that x is the real part for this and y being with I is the imaginary part. And further, if I talk about this, it's also told to me for those complex numbers, x and y are the integers here. We have been asked to find area of a rectangle, and we have been told that the vertices of this rectangle are nothing but roots of the equation, that is z into conjugate of z cube plus conjugate of z into z cube is equal to 3. So we need to solve this. We'll get four vertices of the rectangle. Once we get the four vertices, we can just find the area of that rectangle. And if I talk about the options that are given to us here in this question, we have been given A is 48, B is 32, C is 40, D is 80. So these are the four options given to us. Now let's try to solve this. We already know z into z's conjugate. We have the cube for that. In the second part, we have z conjugate, and z is with the cube. The sum of them is given to us as 350. Now, what I can do here is I can write this as z into conjugate of z into conjugate of z square plus conjugate of z into z square, that is equal to 3. I can take z and the conjugate of z as common, so I'm left with conjugate of z square plus z square is equal to 3. Now we already have the idea with us that z is a complex number given by x plus iy. Conjugate of z is nothing but x minus I. So if I try to put that values here, I get x plus iy. Conjugate of z, I know x minus iy. Here you get x plus I, x minus iy square plus you get here x plus iy square. That is equal to 3. So if I try to solve these ideas first, let's do that. We have here a plus b and a minus b, that makes it a square minus b square. So a square minus b square. So this is your expansion of the first term. In the second term, the expansion which we have, if I try to expand that here, let's solve that. So we have x minus iy the whole square, which is a minus b the whole square. And that is given to us as a square minus 2ab plus b square. So you get x square minus 2xyi plus I square. So you get this x square minus 2xyi. We already know that square of imaginary number, that is I, that makes it minus 1. So that makes it plus into minus minus y square. So this is the expansion. If I write the expansion of the other also like the same way, I get again x square plus 2xyi plus iy square now. Again squaring, that makes it I square y square. I square is minus 1. So that gives you x square plus 2xyi plus, or I should say not plus now. It should be minus because I square is minus 1. So minus. Now we have both of these terms here. Just let's put that. So you get this becoming x square minus 2xyi minus y square. Plus we have x square plus 2xyi minus y square. That is entirely equal. So I get the idea here that minus 2xyi plus 2xyi gets cancelled out. Now what we are left with here is, it tells me x square minus I square y square. So minus I square y square second bracket, if I solve it, you get x square plus x square 2x square and y square 2y square. So you get that as 2x square minus 2y square. That is equal to. If you see this again, I square is minus 1. So it makes it minus into minus plus. So x square plus y square. And you have here 2 common, x square minus y square. That is equal to. So you have the expansion here of the product at x square plus y square into x square minus y square multiplied with 2 gives you 350. So x square plus y square into x square minus y square. It's nothing but 350 by 2, which is 175. So we get this equation. Now let's try to solve this equation and let's try to find the values of x and y. Once we find the values of x and y, those are the roots and those are the vertices of the rectangle. So let's try to solve this equation. So if I write that equation here, I already know that is given to me. Sum of the squares of two numbers and difference between the squares of two numbers, the product of them that is given to us is 170. Now I try to split this 175. If I prime factorize this 175, if I do that by 5 first, 5 threes are 15. You are left with 2 and 5, so 5 fives are 25. Get here 5 sevens are 35 and 1. So you have the split of 175 as 5 into 5 into 6. So if I try to form two numbers, I understand I can have here one number as 25 and the other number as 7, which is left out. So I have sum of the squares as 25, that is 3 square plus 4 square. And I also have difference between them as 7, that is 4 square minus 3 square. So 16 minus 9 is 7 and 16 plus 9 is 25. So from this, I understand I can split this 175 as 25 into 7. This is sum of the squares and this is difference of the squares. So if I just write this in the form x square plus y square into x square minus y square, that is equal to 25 into 7. If I know this sum of the squares is 25 and difference of the squares is 7, if I write the two equations, so once I have the two equations with me, if I just add them, get 2x square equal to 32. So now if I try to find the value of x here, I get x square equal to 16, x becomes plus or minus 4. So I get the value of x. Now let's try to find the value of y. We already know x square plus y square is 25, so let's put it in any one of the two equations. So if I put it in the first one, y square becomes 25 minus x square, that is 25 minus 16, that is 9. So once I get y square as 9, I can just find y also, that's plus minus 3. So with this roots of the equation, that is values of x and y, I get the four vertices of the triangle, that is 4, 3, 4, minus 3, minus 4, 3, and minus 4, 3. So I can have two values of x plus and minus 4 and two values of y plus or minus 3. With that, I get the four vertices of the rectangle. Now let's try to plot this rectangle here. So this is your y-axis. This is your x-axis. Now, if I write this one, 4, 4. So you have here minus 4, minus 3 and minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So you again have minus 3. Now we already have the coordinates with us. Just let's plot it. So 4, 3 becomes this point. So 4, 3 is this. Then we have 4, minus 3 as well. We have minus 4, 3 as well. And we have minus 4. So we have the 4 coordinates with us. So with the 4 coordinates which are given to me, if I join them, I get this rectangle. Now if I just want to find the area of rectangle, I can just find the length of the rectangle and the breadth. Length of the rectangle, if I want to find out, I know this is 4 coordinate in x-axis, so this distance is 4, as well as this distance is also 4. So the total distance becomes of 8 units. If I talk of the breadth here, this is 3 units, this is 3 units. The total again becomes 6. So I get the length of rectangle 8 and the breadth of rectangle is 6. If I just find the area of the rectangle now, that is equal to length into breadth. Length is 8 units, breadth is 6 units, the total area becomes 48 square. So we were asked to find the area of rectangle and we have just found that out. We get the area of rectangle becoming 48. So if you see the option that matches here with the question is, so A is the correct answer for the question. I hope you have understood how to solve this type of questions which involve this concepts on complex numbers. You just put in the values of z as x plus iy and the conjugate of that as x minus iy. Solve this idea, we got the equation turning out. So sum of the squares and difference of the squares. Product of that comes out to become 175. So we get the values of x and y as these 4 vertices of the rectangle. Once we get this 4 vertices of the rectangle, we get the area of rectangle as 48 square meters. That matches with option. So because of that, we get the answer as option. I'll see you again tomorrow with some other question from some other topic. And we are going to continue our series of questions on GWE Advanced. So stay tuned. Also, do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also, do share these videos with your friends who are also involved in the prep of GWE Advanced. So they can also take the benefit from these questions which we are solving on everyday basis. Thank you.